Yeah, so our buddy comes over one time. You know, Waldo comes over one time.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, and then freaking this is around time Anna was working for the school district, so we had a bunch of leftover like tamales and stuff. And then Waldo comes over for a couple days and he's like, "There, hey man, we just got something to eat." I was like, there's tamales there, but literally know that those tamales I should have thrown those like 3 days before he came. They had already been there for 2 weeks. They're old and expired. I could have stopped it. I could have said, "Hey, throw those away," but he looked like he was really, really hungry. So I'm like, "Yeah, there's tamales there. Why don't you cook them?" And then I moved from the couch to the corner couch. So I want to see this whole action goes down. I saw him put them in the microwave because they come in, you know, plastic. They're heating them.
Yeah.
I can see that little twinkle in his eye. He's all excited. He's about to eat tamales. Takes out the ranch and ketchup and barbecue sauce.
Ranch?
Yeah, ketchup and barbecue sauce. And I see Waldo there. He's like all excited. Takes out all the tamale. There's like 10 of them left. He got like 7. He cooked 7 of them. I see him eating right there. He's all cutting the first. And like, I should have stopped it right there because those tamales were bad. Why? They were like 2-3 weeks old. They should have been thrown out.
Why didn't you?
They were telling me to throw it out, but I kept forgetting.
But at that moment, when
I was seeing it, I was like, I'm going to see this play out. And I see Waldo there freaking dipping it in ranch and in hot sauce together. Like, honestly, it's a bad ranch and hot sauce and barbecue sauce on a tamale. Doesn't work, but he's just slamming them, man. He's just like, like freaking, he was really hungry. And then he's all like there. He opened up a Dr. Pepper and he's all drinking. I was like, man, that's good, Waldo. And I just felt bad. I was like, then he drank. Like,
did you really feel bad?
A little bit, but you know, I want to see the experiment. I want to see what was going to happen. And then he went to sleep and then he woke up the next morning and he was like, oh, my stomach. I was like, oh, he told everybody like that he wasn't feeling good. And then he's like, what the heck was doing those tamales? I was like, I don't know, man. They give them in the school, man. I eat them all the time, even though I've never eaten them.
Did anybody tell him they were old?
I think someone 2 days later told him that they were old. And he was like, but before that, he was, you know, he went to the bathroom. He was just fucking, you can tell it was destroying his stomach. It was bad. And I was like, you know what, man? We had a lot of Pepto. So a couple of hours after, I was like, you know what? Drink some Pepto. Maybe you can get. It was just, I didn't know, but I didn't know the food was bad, but I did know.
Was part of you laughing?
Yeah, when he was dipping in the ranch, I was laughing. But I felt bad though. I should have told them that they were like 3-4 week old tamales.
Oh
so
god,
it was
that's
rough,
evil,
though.
bro.
Yeah, but now when he comes to visit, he's very careful. Like, hey, how old is this? Kind of traumatized, you know. Well, my bad.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, it's all good though, man.
You're like fucking Lloyd when he gives Harry the laxative.
Yeah, but yeah. I just want to see if they were really bad, but they were bad. They were bad. So, yeah.
Bro, that's fucking way too much. But it's been a good week so far. Especially, you know, it's crazy though. The whole COVID D variant, whatever it is.
I don't know where that thing come from.
I want to say South America or something like that.
No, I heard it's from India.
Oh, wow. That's just crazy.
But now that's the dominant thing right there, man. So there's even there's right now I think what's hurting a lot of people is the misinformation.
I agree.
Like all these people like in the South are now like there's like COVID outbreak in Arkansas, Missouri, parts of Texas. It's like in the South, cases are going through the roof.
Aren't like hospitals at like 95% capacity?
Down there, over here we're getting hit. Cases are rising, but we're not getting murdered like we were last summer.
Yeah. But
cases are rising though, but it's bad though. It's the damn misinformation, man. That people think that they're getting, you know, like a GPS in their thing. You
become like magnetic.
Yeah, magnetic.
Which is, I'm gonna say this is bullshit. I got the vaccine. You don't become magnetic. Whoever fucking said that, there's
people
something else
say it's like
there.
the mark of the beast. They can't get it.
True.
They're afraid of growing a horn. Or I don't know.
But you know what's crazy? They say there's over
the misinformation.
They say there's over 45,000 deaths because of the vaccine. Is that in the U.S. or is that in the world? Because I've looked at the actual statistics in the U.S. It's only like 4,000, maybe. But also, I'm gonna play it like how everybody was saying, "Oh, they're just saying they're dying of COVID," when they didn't. How many of those are really because of the vaccine? Now I'm gonna play it around on the
I don't understand
on the anti-vaxxers. Like,
honestly,
how do you know that's because of the vaccine?
People, you always get shots. People got shots for the measles and polio. Like,
and
shit happens. And, like, this is just something that happened.
And not only that, with every vaccine, there's no 100% chance it works for everybody. There's always
and they
1%.
don't know. They kind of rush some of this, so you always there's got to be some people who are not gonna take it and they're gonna clock out.
But I think it's just like, personally, me, the way I see it. It's being, how can I say, more like spoiled brats.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say so. It's being really spoiled with something. It's like, bro, like, to be honest.
Well, there's that one guy at LA that said that what's it called? He was always saying on social network, on social media, that he got 99 problems, but COVID ain't one. Yeah. Guess what?
COVID is one.
COVID is one, and He checked out? He checked out, man. Wow. He got toe tagged.
That's sad.
COVID took him down.
Just like, personally, me, like, I think people don't realize factors when it comes to all this. You know, people want to question, like, oh, the vaccine came out too fast. How's that? Well, if something comes out quick, the government decides at that moment, hey, we got to put all our resources to figure out what the fuck is this. So in reality, you can bring out a vaccine pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know, when you have... When AIDS happened and all these other diseases were happening back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, you have to understand technology wasn't even close to where we are now.
Yeah.
So, of course, the vaccine or some sort of like treatment was going to take longer. But dude, you can FaceTime with somebody. You can do so much shit with technology. What makes you think that technology doesn't go also with medicine?
I think there's some people.
I don't get.
Yeah. I saw this one on the news that this one little girl, she's like all in an incubator, and they're like kind of like giving her like they're giving her like interview kind of through the door, through like the window of her room. She's all like, she already has COVID. She's beat up. She's like, oh, I don't know if I still want to get the vaccine. I don't know if it's safe. This crazy girl is on her fucking deathbed, and she still won't think about taking a vaccine. What? That's how stupid some people are.
But I'm also gonna say this. People are I get the worry about the vaccine, but I'm all like, do y'all even realize half of the shit you eat that are worse than the vaccine?
It's true.
Let's be honest. Like, I've seen what some people eat and what they put into their body. I'm just like, you're the last one who should really be complaining about what you're putting into your body. Because if that was true, you'd clean up your whole fucking diet. You'd clean up everything you fucking do. So before you complain about the vaccine and putting some in your body, clean up your fucking diet first, bro.
I don't want to know. I just want to know.
Like, I'm going to tell you this. People love sugar-free Red Bull, sugar-free this. But yet...
Sugar-free is fire, though. It's pretty good,
They don't understand. Aspartame, one of the leading causes of headaches and migraines.
Really?
Sucralose, it leads to 7 different types of cancer in your body. All these other sweeteners that ain't monk fruit or stevia or agave syrup, guess what? All that other fucking shit that gives you 0 calories leads to fucking cancer. So in reality,
it's real smooth. There goes our Red Bull endorsement.
So I'm like, what are you really complaining about when it comes to the vaccine? I'm like legit. Everybody in my work, they kind of already know I'm kind of anal when it comes to supplements and what I really eat.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if I go get a protein or whatever, I look at it because you'll be surprised how many supplements has some of those fucking bad ingredients that have the aspartame, that have the sucralose, that have all this shit that causes cancer, that fucks up with your stomach.
Yeah.
You know, that's why like only certain brands I buy.
Yeah.
You know, that's why one I always suggest is for a pre-workout or a protein, just do sports athlete. No, true athlete.
Well, that Jocko one, one is good.
It's either Jocko or True Athlete that I tell people that you can get at Vitamin Shop. Those are the 2 supplements. Like, I've seen the ingredients. Like, I'll take that over this other shit, over this other stuff like Ghost. That shit has fucking so much shit in there.
Really?
C4? Oh, fucking horrendous.
I took C4 for a while.
Jacked. All these other fucking pre-workouts. Yeah, look up some of those ingredients. You're going to be like, what the fuck am I putting in my body?
Damn, really? That C4 was like fucking rough.
Yeah, I'm very skeptical, especially with supplements.
But I don't want to know, like, what happened. What causes Delta to happen? Did a baboon get it? Did a person like
Maybe mongoose?
A mongoose or animal? Or was it just because I know its origins are from India? India's got 1 billion people there. Yeah. And we all watched that movie Slumdog Millionaire.
To live among monkeys and rats?
There's a lot of macaques there. Those monkeys. And those temples with the mice.
You love macaques.
That's your favorite monkey.
It is my favorite monkey.
Yeah, mine's the baboon, so.
I think my number 1 is probably a gorilla.
I've noticed that you loved macaques for a long time. Because remember, you want to get that picture, the portrait of the macaques at the Taj Mahal, but it was too expensive. True. But you just been riding macaques all that time, just rooting for them. Good job.
Yeah.
But I just want to know where this shit come from though, because remember back like a couple months ago, there was the Brazilian variant, the India, the Iceland,
but who knows?
The freaking death row variant. Like what caused it?
Maybe it has to do with weather or just like its surroundings. Who knows? Because I mean, we've all seen some things in India where you see it and you're just like, man, it's just like.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I don't want to be mean.
It's pretty.
I don't want to say it, but it's like you can kind of.
Yeah, I understand.
There's a few things where you can maybe pinpoint it,
but people don't understand that if you get at least one shot, it stops the COVID virus from mutating in your body. One shot stops the mutating. So if you get it, it will stay. It will be the same mutant. It will be the same virus that's in you.
True.
The unvaccinated people who get the COVID. Who get COVID Delta, it could mutate again. That's why people always trying to get one shot. People trying to get asking people to get at least minimum one shot, but that shit is just fucking shit up, man. Like I really was planning, like, dude, it's almost August, fall's coming, things gonna be like up and running again. But those cases, like I was in Mexico recently, in Culiacan, that shit is like bad luck. The week that I go there, they shut down all the clubs and the bars.
Like was the mall still open?
The mall's still open, but they're starting to only let like 20 people at a time. Like the restrictions.
For the whole mall or just stores?
Certain stores, but they have restrictions. It's getting pretty. Those cases right there are shooting off through the roof, and they're telling the people don't go to Mazatlan, don't go to places, man. Like it's like they don't want to shut it down because they don't want to do another shutdown.
Yeah.
But those cases are like.
But also, people don't understand it's spiking down there.
I went to that like a sushi restaurant by the mall. And then you take like a back road, you pass by a clinic. There was like a line of 30 people in the clinic, and they're all COVID related. And I'm like, damn, this shit is spiked up again. But people saying it's tied up with the elections because this time last month, there were a lot of elections, so they're doing big ass crowds, and it takes like a month for the infection rates to spike. So that's what it is. They say it's because the
stop.
So that's what's causing it, man. Because the midterm elections, people are having big ass rallies, and I think those cases are spiking right there. In Cancun, cases are going through the roof right now.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but right now, Mazatlan, Sinaloa, that whole state is the only state right now that's in red right now. Everyone's yellow and green, but it's gets a second wave, and it's just they're not getting enough shots, man. Like. They should have little locations with like 1,000 shots a thing. But
I honestly think if people in the U.S. don't want the shots, give them to other countries. All right, you guys want to fine with me. Let's give it to the people who actually want it.
Fuck, man. But do you think this shit's gonna keep on going? Like, dude, we're gonna be in August in 2 weeks, and this shit is still like, everything's opened up and everything, but in California, cases are happening, but it's not as bad as other places. But it's still, it's like teetering right now. Like we can go either left or right now. It's fucked up, man. Just because people don't want to get a shot, Hey,
and I literally
at the end of the day, I always believe you have the right to do whatever the fuck you want. But sometimes just because people don't get the shot, ruin it for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
So that's what I think about.
And also,
that.
I'm just gonna say, like, I literally put in a huge hole in people's logic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people want to say there's 45,000 deaths because of the vaccine. How do you even know they're related to the vaccine? Like legit. How do you know? People always said, "How do you even know it's COVID death?" Now I'm gonna turn the tables. How do you know they're COVID vaccine deaths? How do you know?
Mm-hmm.
So really think about it. If you're listening to this, really think about if you're one of the anti-vaxxers that not really think about how do you know they're vaccine deaths. People question so much. Oh, not all the deaths were COVID deaths. Well, now I'm gonna turn it around on you guys because that goes both fucking ways.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know, man. It's like we're either gonna float together, we're gonna rise together, or we're gonna be like crash and burn.
But you know what's funny? People believe how many people died of the vaccine, But yet they don't question actually how many people actually have died from the vaccine, but they want to question how many people actually died from COVID. I find the logic in that train of thought. It's all
that misinformation on the internet. Like there's so much misinformation.
But admit it, just pointing it out right there, it kind of says to how some people think. Like, let's be honest. Like, I question both. Like,
I saw this one interview. They were interviewing this church in I think it's in North Carolina. These people they're interesting characters because they believe in the whole having snakes around you and stuff.
That's weird.
And this one guy's like holding like a rattlesnake. He's like, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the vaccine. It's just not right. It's not healthy. And this guy's literally doing sermons with rattlesnakes. Like, have you seen those videos of those church of the rattlesnake churches? They are crazy, man. Everyone should watch that shit on YouTube. I admit it. I must have gone the rabbit hole for maybe a couple hours watching videos of that. But even the people who are carrying like vipers and rattlesnakes, they're like, they don't believe in the vaccine and they're carrying around a poisonous animal. So if they get bit and they get a anti-venom, they get a shot of anti-venom, but they won't take the shot to stop COVID.
It doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense.
Exactly.
I saw this one video, man. Like this one pastor of some church. This guy got bit by like what's it called? He got bit by some kind of snake, very common in the South. It wasn't a rattlesnake. I forgot what it's called though. This fucker checked out like literally 4 hours later.
Oh shit.
He was still like reading the church and he was coughing up blood until the people he was like, and then he took him to the church and and then he died.
All right.
But
you know what's funny?
That's outrageous. That's crazy. One.
I think it's funny when some people like try to add like religion into this, like, oh, if God didn't make it, don't take it, right? I'm just like, that train of thought makes no sense because God didn't create cars, but yet you drive one. God didn't create all these protein shakes and all this other stuff you ingest. So why are you taking it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, God created food, but because of the our intellectual of human beings, we decided to make different food stuff. So I'm just like, doesn't the same thing apply to a vaccine?
You know what?
To being sick.
That's
to all
true.
That doesn't make sense. Like some people train of thought. I'm just like, that makes no sense at all because God also didn't create clothing. We created it ourselves. So
you know, there's a Church of Weed in Northern California. I don't know if they're still open, but they read the scripture like a couple hours and they like smoke out.
That's my type of church.
And then like they live in the forest, like they pick fruit, they grow their own vegetables. They're like a self-sustaining community, but they're like a weed of church. I'm like, man, that's cool, man. You know, they still.
But
what's the worst that they're doing? Nothing.
I'm just saying, like during these times, you see a lot. Like I'm seeing a lot of like how some people think. Where I'm just like, the way you're thinking, the way you said that makes no sense at all.
I just think people are honestly. I think they're so just mistrust in the government and in.
Well, I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Yeah. Like,
but when it comes to like a vaccine and shit, I'm gonna take their word over a guy in a basement or anybody else's word.
This is the whole thing with like when storming Area 51.
Yeah,
like, people want to storm it, but that was never gonna happen.
But you know what I get? People must understand when it comes to science or even these vaccines, there's always gonna be an argument in the science. How long wasn't Albert Einstein wrong until he was actually proven right? How many of these other scientists and all these other people weren't wrong at one point in their life, but others proved them right? I'm just like, how do you take one side of the information without really listening to the other side of the information and really just taking one person's word? Like I get both sides.
Yeah,
I get it, but I'm gonna listen to both. I'm gonna listen to both of the information. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, this doctor says I shouldn't take it, so I'm not gonna take it. So you're gonna take one person's word for it over this person? Kind of makes no sense.
Yeah, it's all that disinformation. There's so much disinformation on the internet, on TV, in music, in movies. It's honestly, I think it's fucking up the psyche of people. There's some people that are tearing between reality and like reality and fantasy.
Yeah.
I think these last 2 years, especially with this COVID and this lockdown, a lot of people have jumped down they're gone. They fell the cliff. They're tumbling down and they're going to hit a river and it's going to stream them away. Yeah. A lot of people have hit that.
Yeah. I agree.
And I think that's what's really fucking people up. It's just there's no trust, no one. Can't trust your neighbor. Could be accountable.
No, I never trust neighbors anyway.
You could be a ISIS sympathizer. Like you don't know anything. Like people, there's so much distrust in people now.
And not only that, you got both sides being polar opposites. There's no middle.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're in the middle, one side thinks you're the other side, and the other side thinks you're on the other side just because you're in the middle.
And it's not affecting us too. It's affecting the animal kingdom. Chimpanzee attacks on gorillas have skyrocketed over 90%.
You saw that?
In the last 2 months.
They're ganging up on gorillas, bro. Like that's how strong gorillas are. Like two groups have to get against them.
Like that's what. There's weird shit happening right now.
Yeah.
And that iceberg that melted. The icebergs are releasing all these weird viruses.
Oh, that shit's cray.
Like.
But,
I think we're like this close away from maybe The Walking Dead.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't doubt it.
There's a lot of parts of Antarctica that are unmelting and have been frozen for like 50,000 years. Who knows what the fuck is gonna come out of there? You saw that one movie on Amazon. What's it called? What's it called? The new movie. The guy from I forgot. The guy from that movie.
What are you talking about?
That Amazon movie we watched. Remember the aliens or something that they're frozen? I don't know. We watched it.
No, it's called The Future War, The War of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Maybe they're onto something.
Maybe. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
But let's change the subject. Enough of the fucking COVID shit because I feel like we spend too much time on that.
No, we don't. People need to know this stuff.
Yeah, but
they need to know that COVID was dropped here by an alien race to wipe out.
Shut your whore mouth, bro.
Yeah, but what can you do? It's all good, though. You just got to, keep trucking.
Basically what you can do. Keep trucking.
Yeah. Have you seen that Netflix thing? The one movies? 1994?
No. What's it about?
You should watch it, man. I've been telling you like 3 times to watch the movie. You don't watch it. 1994 or 92, 1976 and 60.
Maybe.
It's actually...
If there's one...
Hey, this will bring you over the edge. Based on R.L. Stein's books.
Who?
The guy who did Goosebumps.
Oh, yeah.
He did those.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it then. My thing that I saw was people should watch Movie That Made Us.
Oh, yeah.
That shit's so fucking good.
The Dirty Dancing
The first one, Dirty Dancing. I never realized how perfect that movie had to be made, and everyone who especially the director, Patrick Swayze, the music, like it was all so perfect for it to just blossom.
I believe sometimes the universe lines up shit for it to happen.
Dude,
like it
nobody
happens.
would pick it up except for a company that used to make VHSs and then went into making movies.
Mm-hmm.
That says
and
it
end up
all.
doing porn down the road.
Yeah.
It's weird, man, how they can just change their whole thing like that. But it's weird how everything lined up perfectly for that movie to be made. And it's a great movie, man. I'll tell you what's a great movie that people should watch. It's a great movie. You've seen it. You remember The Last American Virgin?
Oh, that's a great movie. I love
every person in high school, every student should watch that movie, man.
The Last American Virgin, man. That shit's fucking good.
Gary in the end. Motherfucker, man. He got played like a violin.
Apple?
Who's Apple?
The Big Apple or something like that? The fat dude, the one that's...
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
I forgot his name, though. I forgot his name, but there's 3 friends, and, they go on... it's the Superbad of the early 80s. Let's just say that.
Dude, it is.
It's the Superbad of the early 80s.
It just doesn't get depressing with how much, he liked the girl. He thought he had her, bought her the necklace. She ends up going back with the guy's best friend.
After he paid for her abortion. Oh, man.
Dude. Oh, man.
Gary, that mother... If I ever saw him, be like, Gary, you fucked up, man. You fucked up big time. But yeah, oh man, is it even on Netflix or
I don't know?
Is it on?
They're probably gonna have.
No, it's gotta be on. There's some streaming service has that movie. They have to.
Well, most likely Amazon will have it, but you have to pay for the rent.
Yeah, probably. Damn,
But it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's a fucking great movie, man.
I feel
Funny.
like watching it now.
Yeah.
I feel like watching it.
Honestly, we should watch it. That movie's a classic.
For all those wondering, Buffalo Trace, I've had it many times here. I tell everybody, get a bottle of Buffalo Trace, man. It's a whiskey that just, the taste is amazing, and for the price, you just can't beat.
So I was looking on the internet, and I find like a place right there out kind of by Rosarito. It's an ayahuasca retreat. Mm-hmm.
How much?
I didn't look at the price, but the whole days is like 21 days.
Oh, wow.
They do like ayahuasca.
Before you go more, I just want to tell our listeners, be prepared because there may be an episode where maybe one of us microdoses some shrooms. Just FYI, who knows it's gonna be. Get ready for that. Them. It's just I'm not telling them when. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
They're gonna know it's on when everything's in a black light and everything's lit up.
Well, don't fucking tell them it's a black light. You literally gave it away.
Oh shit, my bad. We'll edit this part out.
Actually, we won't.
Yeah, but I found that center, man. I don't know, man. I'm kind of thinking November, December.
Maybe. I want to do shrooms before I ever do ayahuasca.
Really?
I want to have, like, you want to have some sort of already, like...
I don't get it. You know how it's illegal in the Bay Area? So, where do they sell it in the Bay Area? You just got to go through people. Do you just got to go through people? Or can you go to, like, a dispensary? Or how does that work since it's decriminalized in the Bay Area?
I think you'll see places that will offer it.
I think a dispensary, if you ask around, they'll probably find you some, huh?
Maybe. I think it's gonna be how can I say regulated to the point where it's like, oh, you can't just get it anywhere. It's like there are gonna be licenses that can do it there, and they'll be able to give it to you.
Yeah.
It won't be like,
oh, they're still working on that shit.
I think they're still working on it, but I won't be surprised if they already have like some clinic or someone or some sort of like healing that offers it already.
I saw this one guy who's been doing shrooms for a while, and he says that every time he does shrooms, he feels he's like more connected to his past lives.
It might, because
what the fuck is that?
But I think it all depends on your train of mind. Because I had a few friends that do it. One of them told me it's like if you have any like not doubt, but any like.
Imagine doing that
like
and watching Ancient Aliens.
Or any insecurities about yourself or any trauma. Like it's brought out where you have to deal with it right then and there. It's like you either have to make peace with it or you're gonna let it fucking take you down a different hole. You know, because the way he told me, he's like he was walking, but like everything had some sort of spirit. Like he could see plants coming to life.
Really?
Like and it was just crazy. But
so if you do shrooms with a bunch of trees, are they gonna start walking like Lord of the Rings?
But it depends though, because when you first do it, you don't want to take a high dose because then it's really gonna fuck you up. You gotta do a small one to see how you are, then maybe up it a little bit the next time, and you gradually go up to it.
Yeah, damn, like that's true.
Imagine doing the toad. I don't know if I could do the toad.
Honestly, I think an amateur person who's never done like psychedelics should not mess with the toad venom. I think that's way too. That's like
I think that's for
Mike Tyson did
it.
He's helped him. He said it helped him a lot because he did shrooms for a while before he went and did the smoked the toad venom in Sonora. Yeah. But they say that is like that toad venom is like 30 mushroom trips in un chingazo.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if an average person could take you going down like
how long does a toad last?
I heard it kicks in for 15 to 20 minutes. It's not a long high. It's like a boom, it hits you.
So it's like DMT.
It's basically DMT. But
see, the thing with shrooms, that's a 6 to 8 hour trip. Literally 6 to 8 hours.
I don't know, man. Maybe it just opens up a lot of stuff, but I just don't think. I think that toad venom, man, like you really gotta like know what the fuck you're gonna get yourself. That is not for like the average pothead. Because you fuck with that toad venom, man. Like, literally, you're scraping the venom off a toad's back, drying it off, and putting a pipe and smoking it. Like, that shit is like... That's going to put you in the fucking ether. In the atmosphere. You might even... You might go to a fucking different dimension with that shit.
Who fucking knows?
So,
bro,
I don't know if I don't know if I would want to fuck with the toad venom stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I know if we look for it, we can probably find some, but I don't think it's...
I wouldn't mind trying peyote.
Honestly, peyote is...
That's one I would definitely want to try too.
It's not really like a trip though, huh? It's like a feel good.
No, it depends. It honestly all depends. I've listened to a few people that talk about peyote. Like, it gives you a trip, but it just all depends how it's prepared, how potent it is. And
I'd rather do peyote than do that toad venom, because that toad venom is rough. But peyote is just a natural fruit. The toad venom is like... I don't know if it's
also natural. So,
it's still natural. It's coming from an animal.
That's why.
But I don't know if God created, hey, man, go to toads and take out their venom in the back and start smoking it. But peyote's more like a natural thing, because it's just a plant. It's just a cactus that grows in the desert.
There's another one that comes from a cactus, but you're supposed to boil it for 3 days. It becomes a drink. I was listening to the
what is it,
Joe,
like hot
Joe
chocolate?
Rogan podcast, and it's about a guy who does a whole bunch of the psychedelics and has
They
researched
say
a lot.
they
of
say
it.
a lot of like soldiers who came back from Iraq, they're giving them like small doses of mushrooms and stuff. They're starting to show that like mushrooms and some forms of psychedelics actually start healing parts of your brain that got a lot of trauma. Because those a lot of all those soldiers, they've gone through a lot of shit, and a lot of those soldiers are having more success instead of taking pills and all this crap. Not the natural way.
That's true.
Make a little dosage and help them, heal a little bit, because there's some people like, I saw a story of this one guy is like that he was borderline he was just gonna kill himself, but his friends one time gave him a little bit of mushrooms and said that kind of helped him like calm himself down. He did mushrooms again, and he's been doing it for like 3 years, and he's like polar opposite of what he was when he came back. He was always like kind of freaked out.
You understand?
He'd get night terrors.
The best way to best way to ever like change how your train of thought is or change your mind, it's really psychedelics.
Yeah.
Unless you read books and you try to train your mind to change and try to reprogram it, but one of the ways that's a little bit more fast, you can use psychedelics.
Yeah. It's trippy
but
though.
It's just, I don't know, man. In these times, I just feel like the world and people, they're missing a lot of different factors, man. A lot of people need to have a goal, need to start working on their health, need to understand, like, how can I say, like, I've always said, like, I've always wanted to live a stress-free life.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I'm just like, let's be honest. If you live a stress-free life, you got no worries. Won't you become maybe a lazy person? You won't have no worry. You won't have something to get done. So that's why I've always said, it's true.
No, but maybe a stress-free life. Maybe you think about like even
it's just in general. Like if you think about it, you need some sort of stress in your life to make you a better person.
Yeah, even if it's like pushing yourself into like a marathon.
Yeah,
that's a stress.
So my thing is like that's why I kind of have understood the saying, find your balance. You have to have a balance. You can't be too much one, too much the other, because the balance is what's gonna make you better. Yeah. Everybody wants to be successful, but some people can't handle the stress.
Yeah, it's true.
They can't handle stress. They can't handle all this. So do you really want to be successful?
Maybe. I just think a lot of people just don't know what to do. Maybe that's the problem. We're living in very uncertain times, man. COVID.
But my point is, like, how much of like everything that you do has to do with that? Like, some people don't know what to do, but is it because they don't know what to do because maybe they don't know how to keep their stress in check to the point where they can think about what they want to do?
I tell you one thing, I can see a lot of people these days have developed anxiety and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'm just
I've seen a lot of people that look that they have that stuff, man.
So many factors, yeah. But if you think about anxiety is really about people are trying to live too much in the future. That's really what it is. Anxiety is like you keep living in your mind and you're living something that you want to do, but you're not there. So you try to get it fast, but it's not about that. You have to enjoy the day for it is now. Learn to be at peace. Yeah, that balance every day. Because what's depression? Depression is when you remember a time how everything used to be. So depression obviously has to do with the past, not the present, not the future. Yeah. Anxiety is when you're trying to do this, you have this, you want to do this. Oh, I'm trying to do this by this time. So you create an anxiety. You create something because it's like you want to live a life where you're not ready yet.
That's true.
I remember I was trying to get when I was trying to do some things before the summer, my anxiety was getting a little bit worse. Yeah. But then I've learned to be like, you know what? I got my whole life ahead of me. I was, it's like it's just your train of mind and how it is. Like some people love to live a life like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna live tomorrow, so I'm gonna live it up today. But how much of that means different to other people? Because for some other people, thinking they're gonna die tomorrow means they go out to drink every day. They go do coke. They do all this shit they shouldn't do. Yeah. Which for somebody else is more like, I may not live tomorrow, so I'm going to take all the opportunities I can. Yeah. So it's all on how people perceive it. But for me,
it all depends on your surroundings. All depends on your surroundings. I think that's what it is.
It may
your
be.
Your environment affects you a lot, especially if you are a group of 4 people, you're happy and 3 other of your friends are depressed. Little by little, you're going to end up getting depressed too. That's how it is.
I agree, but at the same time, I disagree.
It's like a bad fruit. There's 5 oranges and 1 orange is already already getting
because the reason
mold.
I say this,
they're all gonna get mold.
I'm gonna tell you this: a lot of the people I hang around with are not necessarily kind of like me. They're not thriving for the same thing as I do. You know, but I know what I have to do. I know their life is their life, my life is my life. So I'm able to keep it separate to the point where it's like
I gave you props to talking out of your friend. That one girl you were talking to her at not doing porn. Good job on that. Good job. Because
I did.
Good job you convinced her. Because that was just a slippery slope, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it didn't end good for a lot of people that were in the industry. Yeah. So
but yeah.
It wasn't so good thing on convincing her. Good job.
Yeah,
on your
so
friend.
that's I feel like everything is a factor. Like it is surroundings, but part of it's not just surroundings. Because some people can be surrounded by the best thing in their life.
I always say
they still see the worst. They still become what they shouldn't be, even though they're surrounded by some of the
I always
best
say,
people.
show me who you hang around with, and I'll show you who you are. That's what I think. Straight up.
Well, I believe in that.
I believe in that all day.
I won't believe it 100%.
I believe it 110%.
There's some people that are surrounded by people who are just pushing themselves every day in life, but they're not pushing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so at one point that's true, but at one point the other factor is you. You can be in the worst conditions. It's all up to you.
No, that's what I say. Well, if there's people that are like, it's like a person who doesn't drink hanging out with people who constantly drink. Doesn't make sense. That's what I think. But, you know, depends who to each his own. To each his own.
Of course, that's what I mean. Like, it's like one of my things I always say. It's like nothing is ever an absolute. Because no one's really an absolute, because there's going to be those outliers. There's going to be where some people are just mentally strong and they're strong enough to be like, hey, I can hang around with these people because I feel comfortable around them, but I know what I still have to do to accomplish. Yeah. Like, those are still my homies, but I got to go do some work, guys. I can't hit, you know. Yeah. It just really depends on the person themselves. What is your thought? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's true. But I don't know. I always think it gets to a point, and when everyone goes to a point in life that you need to hang around people who have the same vision as you. Yeah. Straight up.
Because I'm going to tell you this. Nobody really around me has worked the schedule that I've worked with. Mm-hmm. You know, no one has done, like, try to do what, you know, working sometimes 80, 90 hours, or where you fucking only sleeping 3 hours. I don't know anybody that's done that, especially consecutively for 2 years. Yeah. That's why I mean,
but like, you can tell it was taking a toll on you.
It was, but at the same time, so I'm telling you, nobody around me was doing it. Mm-hmm. But because I knew what I had to do. Mm-hmm. That's what's like, it all depends on one person. Yeah. You can be surrounded by people who maybe just love the 9-to-5 life. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean you're going to be stuck there, because you already know what you're doing. You already know what your goal is. Yeah. Maybe their goal was that. So by them accomplishing their goal, it makes you accomplish your goal, even though it's not the same. Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Because it's hard to find people with the same vision you have for your future. But you can find people with goals like you do.
Mm-hmm. Like a cult.
Those are the people you want to hang out. You want to surround yourself with, because you're going to learn how they adapted to their situations that are far different from yours.
You know, I'm surprised with all this COVID stuff that cults haven't really taken off yet.
I know.
Yeah, I thought there'd be like some kind of cult, like, you know, like the, what's it called? Like Jonestown.
The anti-vaxxers and vaxxers is kind of a cult right now.
Anti-vaxxers? I think it's knocking on the doors of a cult. I don't think it's a full-blown cult yet. Yeah, I don't think so, man. But I think it's knocking on it, though. But I don't think it is, though. But yeah, maybe you know what? Maybe they are a cult. No, I don't think so. I believe there's some people for religious reasons, like the Jehovah's Witness, that, you know, can't give blood. You can't donate. You can't donate blood. You can't celebrate a birthday. You can't dress up like they celebrate Halloween on November 1st. So it's kind of, you know, opposite. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So people say that they're a cult, but yeah, are they a cult? You think Jehovah's Witnesses are a cult?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a religion.
Well, you know, the singer Selena, you know, she would have been alive, right? If her dad would have been cool with giving her blood. But since they're Jehovah's Witness, he said no, and then she did not make it. And now she has a Netflix special that's not her.
But see, that's my point, though. If you think about it, it's how people perceive things. His religion said, oh, you can't give people blood. Mm-hmm. But the way I see things is,
I think she always preserved life.
No, not only that. For all these scientists, doctors, have to understand there's always new information coming out. Mm-hmm. But for me, all praises to God. So for me, it's like God gave them that knowledge so they could save more lives.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think of that perspective, you're gonna thank God no matter what, because he gave this doctor knowledge. He made him go down this path so he could save more lives. Mm-hmm. Where if you go to Jehovah's Witnesses, they believe in God, but when it comes to giving blood, they don't believe in it. That's not them.
Mm-hmm.
But
they can't celebrate birthdays. They celebrate Christmas, December 26th. But
see how the mind thinks differently. Mm-hmm. I believe in God as much as they do, or maybe even as equals to them. Mm-hmm. But have you
ever read the pamphlets that they give people?
No,
they're always giving us all the time.
But my understanding of God is more like God gave him this knowledge so he can save maybe one of my loved ones. Mm-hmm. So it's all on just how people perceive stuff. If you think about it, everything's about perception.
You know what? God created humans. Like, then who created the fucking those apes? Like how man evolved from apes. Who created that? Or was that already happening? And God created humans to wipe out those monkey people. I've always thought that. I think Earth was going on for 8 billion years, and natural evolution happened. But God's like, whoa! I'm not gonna have these Neanderthals or Hobbit-looking creatures. I'm gonna create the perfect person.
Or how do you not know?
He created humans, and they wiped them out.
Or how do you not know that monkeys came from humans? But there were those that were maybe exiled from the group and lost language and lost all this knowledge because they were maybe lived in fear to the point where their evolution was that and they couldn't prosper more. I don't think
that humans were created and the monkeys came from humans. I don't know if that makes sense.
How do you not know that though?
No, I'm telling you, God saw God was chilling. Look
at this.
One day for us is 8 billion years for God and stuff like that. But hold on, God sees these Neanderthals and these Hobbit-looking creatures walking around. They kind of look humanish, but they're not. And then God's like, dude, I'm not messing with. I didn't create these monkey people. I didn't create Neanderthals or Gigantopithecus. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create humans. And I'm going to give them weapons, swords, battle axes, shields. And guess what God's like? I'm going to make the perfect person.
Now think of this.
Randy, let me explain it.
Yeah, but you're going to stupid analogy.
You need to shut your mouth.
You shut your whole fucking mouth,
truth accepted.
No.
God created the perfect human to wipe out all the other races that he just didn't see that they were cool enough. He's like, I can't have this on Earth.
Think about this. Think about time.
But Bigfoot escaped the war.
Okay, but think about this. Think of time now. Mm-hmm. Now think of time going backwards without technology. Think of internet, TV, everything ceased to exist now. Mm-hmm. Would we still prosper as the same humans as we are without technology, or would our knowledge take a step back without? Think about that.
You lost. Can you repeat that again?
Yeah,
you lost me a little bit. Same technology, but go backwards.
No.
Are we the same?
We don't have no more technology.
Okay, no
more
technology.
At this moment, computers, nothing. Phones, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing works.
All right.
Now think of 100 years from now with no technology. Would we continue to grow as a species, or will we start to take a step backwards without technology?
Let me see. I'm gonna say probably.
There's no more technology.
I still think it would grow. Honestly,
I don't know. I don't think we would.
I think our minds are so strong that something would cause it to start. Humans will start making something again.
No, but there's no technology. You can't make something.
Well, there's a wheel, right, and knives and stuff.
That's all you got.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure something would be. I think we'd advance slower rate, but I think gradually we would constantly be growing.
Okay,
I don't think we take a big
But look at
backwards.
all the people around the world. You did that same thing. Everyone around the world, no technology exists. You can't even get in touch with nobody down there, over there. At one point, maybe progression doesn't go forward, but starts to regress. Where we there's no more going forward. We start going backward. That's where my thought. Well, I'm like, because evolution science can prove it's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
But how do we not know it was humans that were first, and then there was some sort of maybe civil war or something that certain groups split up, but because they lived in so much maybe fear or something that they started regressing, they started getting animalistic tendencies.
That's an interesting theory. Never thought of it like that.
You know why? Look at the pig. You put the pig in the wild, what does it become?
Yeah, I give him some jabalin.
Becomes a boar.
Yeah, all pigs from North America. Every pig that's in the Americas are all descendants of the pigs that the Spanish brought.
Guess what? They start to create tusks. But if they're domestic, they become these pink pigs that are nicer. But the more they're into the wild...
Because they are discovering different types of people. There's like over 15, 12 different types of human-like.
So if pigs are like that, where they have a gene that once they're into the wild and they're no longer in a domesticated environment, they become wild. They get the tusks, the elongated nose, and they become hairier.
In the movie Willow, they became pigs in the end.
Exactly. So how do we not know? Maybe we've been looking at evolution the wrong way.
That's interesting.
Think about it.
I never thought. Yeah, that's true.
Everything in life is based on perception. But, no one can really know if it really went that way or if it went this way.
So you think the Queen Elizabeth is a lizard? Is a lizard person?
She might be, but I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think the whole reptilian thing. Yeah, I don't really.
I don't buy it.
Like, I believe Bigfoot and stuff like that, but the reptilian thing is a little way too.
But that's my kind of theory on evolution. Like, I'm not saying it's 100%. That's just an idea that I'm like, that's a possibility, because in reality, there's evidence that proves evolution.
Yeah.
But to say that we came from monkeys, I don't believe it. I feel like it could have been the other way around.
That's interesting right there. I never thought that it could have been the reverse.
Exactly.
Yeah. Damn, that's interesting. I still think God wiped them out though, for some reason.
That's a possibility, but I'm still putting a check or a flag right next to my theory.
Because I really think that God was like, what the fuck are these weird monsters on Earth? Like, there's people who look like apes. There's giant people, weird people. Like, I can't have all these monsters walking around. I can't have Gigantopithecus or Neanderthals just fucking kicking it over here. Like, I'm going to wipe them out. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to make humans. Perfect. Brain size, everything. I'm going to give them a little edge. Come up with a sword or a battle axe.
The way you explain it, I don't think God thinks that way, to be honest. In my point of view, I don't think he thinks that way. I don't
know. We don't know what God thinks. Exactly. I'm just explaining that my theory would be.
I know. But that's why
suddenly all these weird creatures suddenly died and we're number one.
Well, yeah.
You ever thought about that?
Well, they say Neanderthals lived around the times of Sabertooth, so...
Yeah, they kicked it around Neanderthals. The Neanderthals and humans kicked it, but the humans were like, I can't trust Neanderthals going around like
true.
Like, we're fighting for the same food.
The way you explain it, I don't feel God would even speak the way you speak. He would speak in more majestic ways. He would speak like Fergie and like Jesus, or the combination of Fergie and Sting, Fergie and Willie Nelson. He'll have that type
I think
of
God
stuff.
is just... I think
Fergie and Yoda.
God can talk any way he wants.
Yeah, but he won't talk like you, bro.
Actions.
He ain't gonna talk like you.
How do you know?
Because you're stupid.
Oh, you're gonna use... Oh, dude, that's offensive now. You can't use the word retard.
All right, you're a Mongoloid.
That's even worse.
I don't give a fuck.
That's like they used that against the Jewish people during World War II.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
You are a piece of shit.
No, they didn't. Besides, I'm 2% Jewish.
You're going...
I'm 2% Jewish. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then cut your fucking hand off. You're not Jewish no more, asshole.
But yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. That's interesting. But what can you do at the end of the day?
Yeah. Want to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for listening. As always, you guys can catch these episodes on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts,
dude, just shut up.
Castbox.
Shut up. They know that already. I'm playing. Just finish it.
I know these are brand new listeners coming into this episode.
Oh, you're right.
Fucking idiots.
Sorry, Randy.
Shut your whore mouth for once,
Sorry, you're
bro.
having another flare up. My bad.
Shut your whore mouth. You can also catch these episodes on YouTube, YouTube Music. But thank y'all for listening. Greatness is one at a time. Let's get it.